Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Tower of Doom stream. 21, day 7, last day of Blue Day, so if you want to go get the Tower of Doom done. Today is of course the last day to get everything wrapped up. You get max reward up to completing up to floor 26, as in the completion of 25. Everything beyond that is pretty much just for leaderboard. Oh no, we fell off the top 100. How far are we? Is it worth fighting for? On our own, not really. We would need enough to cover that entire gap, which is a 45 gap, and alone we would cover like 7, if even that. So that will not cover it with what we currently have. Oh, what's up with Drizzy? Oh yeah, I need to go kick Drizzy. I need to go do that after. But I need to go get rid of Drizzy. Drizzy's actually been out for a while, and replace out the slots. Just wanted to make sure that wasn't vacation or anything. But I'll need to fix that. That would explain why our score is lower. We're one person down. Also, one person was pretty low too. Not even mentioning the person that we're down. But anyways, in other news, spoilers. Let's go over all the spoilers for next week as far as all the normal event-related stuff. No patch spoilers, just everything related with the troops. So, it is a Kakarot event. We're actually getting 2 Kakarot troops, which will be bringing Kakarot to the star level of, what should be 15? Yeah, it should be 15. Because that should be 24 total troops. So yeah, about 15 star level, 15 or 16. I don't believe there's another one that's causing that. So, yeah, there should be a 15-star Kakarot. So we'll have it at level 15 and star 15. But anyways, as far as the 2 troops, this thing almost looks like it's from Darkest Dungeon or something. The Guardian, this is a Daemon construct that's going to be added. It ends up dealing damage if the enemy is a boss for next week's raids. Obviously the standard 3 to 5 times damage all of them have based on Ascension. And it ends up giving 12 life and armor at what I believe is a static amount, not based on magic. And if the enemy dies, it doubles the effect. So basically, it just gets double of it if you end up getting the boss kill. Though you can still get it off a non-boss kill. But obviously, to be able to secure a kill, it's most likely going to be off of specifically the boss. Other than that, it does have 25% score damage reflect, so we'll be able to reflect some. And other than that, it has a standard little killing trait. Overall, pretty lackluster raid troop, as most of them tend to be. But yeah, it's definitely under the category of pretty lackluster, to say the least. Other than that, we have the Nether Hound. This will be, of course, the one that is available for Glory that you can stock up on. It's only a rare, 11 mana cost, brown-red. Daemon Beast ends up dealing some damage to an enemy, the first enemy, and then hunters mark them. It ends up creating 8 to 12 purple gems. That's not horrifically bad. Obviously, that's not good enough to really excel to be used. It does have fast, so it does only need 6 mana cost for its very first cast. But it kind of reminds me of almost a weaker version of, what's his name? Well, not the absolute weakest version. He's like the category of like Winter Wolf and Dire Wolf and all those kind of wolves, even though he's called Hound. He even has a wolf as his icon. I just realized the Abysmal or the Absol Hunt. But yeah, overall, he's probably in the same category of those troops. And it does damage to an enemy and then places a hunter's mark and then does some additional effect. In the case of the Dire Wolf, I feel like it gets the biggest benefit, being only 8 mana cost and having the ability to both entangle and extra turn % chance, while also being able to do 4 times damage total to that. Whereas this thing just gets a hunter's mark, does some damage, and gets to create some purple. This is one of them that does have a guaranteed gem spawn, though. Winter Wolf has gem spawn, but it's only 8 if I'm not mistaken, or 9. And it's only when it gets a kill, not every single time. This gets to do it every single time, and for 1 mana cost lower. So compared to Winter Wolf, this thing should actually be pretty decent. Though it doesn't have freeze, but still. Compared to Winter Wolf, this thing should still be pretty decent. Compared to Dire Wolf, I do believe it gets outclassed, though. It does have that fast, but if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Dire Wolf also have fast? Pretty sure Dire Wolf has fast. I am like 90% certain, doesn't he? It's one of his good traits. No, he does not actually. Huh? Maybe it just seems like he gets it fast because it's so small. Never mind. That's kind of interesting. None of the wolves actually have fast, do they? Obviously, you can normally give it with like a Forest Guardian or something. but naturally, no. Interesting. Okay. Maybe that actually does have a little bit more potential than I thought. It's obviously not like super meta, but compared to like the wolf category, yeah, it's actually not that bad overall, this troop. Not bad. Okay, next one. Staff of Oblivion. So this is a weapon that we get next week as well. The new weapon ends up being a pretty standard weapon. Deals damage to an enemy based on Kakarot allies, something you'd almost never use. The purple and brown are two very, very useful colors for Kakarot. So in that regard, it's kind of decent. And yeah, it's a pretty standard weapon. We already know what these are like. There's like 1.5 billion of them in the game. There'll obviously be one for every single typing eventually. No clue what the full list of missing ones are, but obviously we will eventually have one for every single kingdom and every single type within the game. It's only a matter of time until we do. And that's pretty much our game plan with that. Some of them will be good, some of them will be bad, some of them will be useless. Just kind of have to wait and see as far as those. And as far as this one, it's going to be more towards the useless end. While the color is pretty good for Kakarot, Kakarot synergies are near non-existent. Not to mention only half of that works for Zugoff. If both those colors worked into Zugoff, it might be a little bit better. But given that it has confliction with Zugoff, or some amount of confliction, I'm not sure if it would be used as much. And again, brown could be used for skull spam into Zugoff. But I feel like it'd be very rarely used for that purpose, especially since the Kakarot class is pretty bad. Anyways, lastly, the events that are going on throughout the week. Obviously, tomorrow starts the Raid Boss event, which we'll be having going on throughout the entire week. On Tuesday, we're going to be having the faction event for Warrens, so if you want to go get that. It actually gives you a lot of Arcane Light Trade Stones, if nothing else, even just doing the free ones for the day. On Wednesday, we'll be having Slime Ball. Slime Ball is the Kakarot bonus troop, so you end up getting Kakarot bonus for it, a relatively useless bonus, as you generally don't use a lot of Kakarot troops on your team. Same reason why the weapon's going to be pretty bad. Then after that is the Kakarot hero class, which is Sorcerer. Sorcerer at one point was like an okay hero class before like perks and everything came into the game. It still theoretically has like the best first trait of any of the classes. However, in the current state of the game, it is among one of the worst, if not like the top 3 worst hero classes in the game. It is really, really bad. Get the free XP since you probably don't already have it maxed. However, other than that, don't use this thing. It is so bad, the Sorcerer hero class. And then lastly, for the Friday event, we will have a weekend invasions, which we've been getting now here and there. It'll end up being for Blighted Lands. So, or sorry, not Blighted Lands. I mean for Daemon, I meant to say. It'll be a Daemon restriction where Sir Mundami, I don't think he had anything too relevant as far as his ability, which we can click on him and see. What was your ability thingy again? It was, yeah, he gets to steal 6 magic from something that you can't even steal magic from. Yeah, he had that really irrelevant one. I don't know why they gave him that ability, but he literally has a 6 steal magic against things that can't be stolen from magic. It's kind of weird. But, yeah, he had that really weird mechanic. Wait, actually, can you still steal from them? I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure you can't, because I recall saying like he has such a weird interaction during his week when he ended up coming out like months ago. But regardless, that's what we're gonna have is him for a Daemon restriction. And yeah, that's the rest of our weekend then, and that will last for the rest of the weekend. No other event going on. However, that will start next week, and after next week, we have a lot of things going on. Getting a new legend, we're getting a new mythic, and we still have all the normal event stuff. So should be a pretty active week. But next week, definitely more active than last week, at least. But most of our newer content's coming all in on Monday. As the only other thing that we're really getting later into the week is the... Actually, I don't think we're getting any new weapon on that day. We need to go double check. Actually, there's a way to check. I didn't actually check that prior. I forgot that's one thing that I still need to go check. Because while the troop isn't changed, the weapon might be. Ah, yes. Okay, that's why I checked. Okay, there's one more thing I need to go over. We're getting a new weapon on Friday as well to coincide with the invasion event. And it is this weapon right here. It is 14 mana cost blue-brown. It deals magic plus 7 damage to an enemy boosted by Daemon allies. Oh gosh, it's the exact same thing just for Daemon. As I was saying, we'll eventually have one of these for every single typing. However, this one will actually be more useful. Then it creates a mix of red and purple. Which are great colors for Daemons. And obviously it's boosted based on Daemons. And does it have anything good? Mighty, Leeching, Reaching, Demonic. I forget, what does Demonic do again? Oh yeah, 2 mana tall purple allies, which actually isn't that bad. Overall, not too good though. Though you do get to steal 2 mana. And that can get some of its mana back, because that is actually steal, so you do get to gain it for yourself. And that can be a little bit annoying when you keep like doing it over and over again to repeat it. Overall, seems rather average. Definitely better than Staff of Overworlds as far as its applicable usefulness. However, I still feel like it's going to be niche enough that you're not really going to be using it, especially since Daemons don't have 50% mana start currently, which is going to be the biggest thing holding that back from actually being viable. But yeah, gosh, 2 of the exact same kind of weapon types in the same week. However, of the 2, Infernal Volge will definitely be the better one. The one coming out on Friday, not the one coming out tomorrow. Though you'd still probably want to pick up both of them for completionist sake. But the better one is definitely the one coming in through Invasions, if you're looking at it from that aspect. Anyways, so that's that. So, let's go finish out everything that we need to go do. Which is, well, we finished out all event-related stuff. The only thing we really need to do is work on Barbarian hero class, which we're, of course, trying to get to max level. And start poking at that, or not start, but continue poking at that. As you guys know, the main goal throughout the next month, probably, will be finally maxing out every single hero class in the game. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while, and we're finally going to be getting around to it now. And we're getting very close, and we should be able to go and close that all the way. Also, I didn't get to say hello to everyone yet. I've been, like, so focused on spoilers. Hello, Drock Savage. Hello, Original. Hello, Cultus. Or Curtis, I mean. Hello, Jefferson. Hello, DeCrill. Hello, Darkus. Hello, Bill. Hello, Karsten. Hello, Dinosuit Girl. Let's see. On your low-level account, you just reached 400 diamonds. Should you craft Phoenicia? You mean 4,000? I have Quaticus, Valdis, Farish Ross, Stonehammer, the Possessed King, Tina, and Vashtagon. I'm not sure you would need Phoenicia at that level range then, compared to a bigger damaging mythic. Unless you're using Aquaticus for most of your needs. Because you got your soul farming. You got your mana generator. Tina can be used with Yagwe if you don't have Queen of Tanya, which I actually had to do on my Switch account because I didn't have a Queen of Tanya, but I somehow had Tina. Or sorry, not Tina. Oops, my bad. I thought you meant Suna. My bad. Tina, a pretty good true damaging option. Oh, so you do have some damage then. Aquaticus and Tina could actually cover your damage. Oh no, if you feel like you have enough magic to use it, because you could probably feel out how much damage you have, based on how much magic you currently have compared to your main account. But yeah, that really comes down to a personal choice if you feel like you're actually going to use it. I'm just not sure you have enough magic at your level range to be able to utilize it. Plus, you would need fully traded Sunspear if you don't already have it. Like, that's like mandatory before you get a Phoenicia, if you don't already have it unlocked. Obviously, you can do just Redstorm hero classes, but if you're looking to like actually use it for battles, we're going to need to multicast it, which would lower stats you might need to. You're definitely going to want to have the Perpetual Storm to make up for it. Also, hello, Sausage! And hello, Frank. Welcome, welcome. Hope all of you been doing well. But yeah, 5.0. Soon TM. When I have info I can say on that, I shall. Nothing I can mention yet, though. Actually, wait, I didn't actually check their socials. Do I have something I can mention? Hold up. I don't think I do. I didn't actually check the other day. Gems of War. Gems of War. Gems of War. No, they didn't. All they posted was the, yeah, I didn't think they posted anything. I just wanted to double check. But all they posted was the little freedom that ended up coming out, of course. But, nope. No, posts on spoilers. You just took #1 spot on PvP leaderboard. Congratulations. Nice. There you go. Look. Or did he drop down to second now? Is it a race to try to get last minute first place? That's what it sounds like. The race for the final position. Oh gosh, why is that so many battles? 1. 5-2. Oh, we actually got 3 gold keys. That means we got a lot of manual moves. But somehow 0 gem keys. I mean, 0 gems. 0 gem keys. Gosh, we're all the way at 70,000 though. It makes it easier to go and farm the thing. Hey, you're still in first. Oh, though, it's really contested though. You're both within like a 39 range. Well, good luck with that. You're probably gonna need a grind for the rest of the night though, if you're gonna beat out that, because it looks like you guys are really heated for the race there. Also, are you doing mostly 2 trophies? Because I noticed your battle count's way higher than his. And also a higher win rate, which makes me assume some amount of 1 or 2 trophies. Maybe at a much higher rate. Are you just solo doing 2 trophies? Not sure if that's a big enough difference that it would be 2 trophy only. Not sure what the math would come out on that. He definitely looks like he's taking the harder ones based on number. And this person's doing the same strategy that you are, Legolos. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah, some people just prefer sticking with 3. I personally do more so your strategy. I tend to cycle to 1 trophy and 2 trophy a lot, just to kind of repick it real quick with a quick kill. Especially now that 2 trophy battles and 1 trophy battles give a lot more points. At one point, they would only give like 14 or something. But quite a few often in PvP, you can get them for counting for like 50 points or something. They're not that much less anymore. They used to be a lot less. However, in the current state of the game, it's not that bad to go for. They're quite a bit less of a penalty compared to what they used to be. Like if I go check right now, my 1 trophy's all the way only at 50. This used to go down as low as like 14, 12, stuff like that. But now the minimum is almost like 50 these days. They like really scaled it up. So taking a 1 or 2 trophy just to cycle through for a quick battle isn't necessarily a bad thing. And you can also, if you have 3 really horrible options, you could theoretically throw down a gem, though it's normally just better just to go for a for one of the weaker battles and cycle off it, just to get it for free. Because you'll run through a lot of gems if you try actually spending gems on those. Oh, did the stream go down for a moment? My bad. Yeah, it likes doing that for whatever reason. Not sure why. Okay, what do we need here? Oh, we'll grab that for now. Grab our splodies. Get our Wayne. Get all of our XPs. We're getting a little bit of shards. They add up, though. Speaking of shards, though, we're getting really close on deeds. Obviously, deeds aren't writs, but I believe I only need 5 more purple deeds until we have our final Magic Kingdom maxed. That'll be a pretty interesting milestone, because that means we'll finally be at max magic once again. Something that we haven't been at for a very, very long time. Mostly because it's been impossible to have it for a very long time. But we'll be as of soon. Oops, I was about to go buy my diamonds, because it's Diamond Day. The only day that is theoretically always worth buying that thing. Even all the way in early game, if you literally just started the game and you have this game mode unlocked, the dungeons, you should always, the second you have it unlocked, every single Sunday, you should be throwing 50 gems at the pack right over here. It is insanely good value. For only 50 gems, it gives 80 diamonds, which that alone is already worth it. 400 shards, 500 souls, so basically 84 diamonds, essentially. 2 gem keys, which is basically almost half that cost anyways. And a Celestial Trait Stone, which is a great source of free Celestial early on in the game. Obviously, I don't need Celestial. I mostly still do it because it's a really great exchange for diamonds. Even if you could just exchange 50 gems for 80 diamonds, if people could do that infinitely, pretty sure a lot of people would, in order to craft mythics and stuff like that at a better rate. So it's definitely worth doing every Sunday. Only on Sunday is the value of this that good, though. On every other day, it's only 20 diamonds for 50 gems, among other resources that aren't as good. But Sunday, it is always worth it, regardless of what point in the game you're at. Assuming you have it unlocked, you should always go for it. Even if you only have like 50 gems. It is worth using your last 50 gems to get it. It's because of how important diamonds are for getting core troops within the game while you're still progressing through it. Obviously, I don't really need it, given that we have enough diamonds to craft like 14 mythics. But I still get it just in case diamonds ever have a purpose into the future beyond getting weapons, legends, and mythics. All of which I already have. You never know, they might add another purpose for it. I highly doubt they would, because they're already used for so many things, and so many people are already like really tight on diamonds. But just in case they ever do, I'm hoarding them. You never know. But yeah, we have way too many diamonds. That's what happens when you have everything in the game and you have nothing to use them on. We have 67,862 diamonds, plus the capability of getting additional diamonds of the exact amount of 6,730. So 1.5 more mythics. Yeah, the number here is 616, which means we could probably craft about 18 mythics right now. 17 or 18 mythics. Based on that number. What's that number divided by 4,000? Let's just do that in our head. Yes, that would be enough, so it would be 2 more. So yeah, 18. We can craft 18 mythics right now. That is a lot of mythics. But yeah, we have enough diamonds to craft 18 mythics. Phoenicia was this week. That's why you were mentioning the Phoenicia thing. I was wondering, it's like, oh yeah, duh, she's available this week still. At least until next week, until we get new things. Yeah, she was the only thing worth crafting this week. Well, I guess technically Infernus, but honestly, these days, Phoenicia has been being insane. She has a much worse burn, like horrifically worse compared to Infernus, but her ability has been getting pretty good in the current state of the game. I feel like she's more of like a end game kind of thing, though. Just because you kind of do need that magic to fully utilize her. And a lot of people early to mid game might not have the niches either. Like you might not even have a single niche medal, let alone 3 of them. But she still gets pretty good value nonetheless. And she can even still outclass your Rowan's damage at any given point in the game. And that alone also kind of makes her useful. In the sake that she pretty much always has the upper ground on Rowan. Not always, but there's one instance where she wouldn't. If you're at the point where you're still like getting your upgrades and you have 24 armor, but you don't have like any amount of magic bonus yet because you haven't gotten any of the niches medals, at that point Rowan would probably have better damage. But once niches start rolling in, Phoenicia kind of makes up for that. But during that one gap, Rowan would actually have ever so slightly higher damage than Phoenicia. But as soon as you start getting those niches, I believe she would overtake it. Romayne even without it, she might overtake it. But that's a lot of damage, though, to have additional 48 damage. That's a lot of extra spare damage that you get from Rowan. They have to put into consideration that to get the exact same amount of additional damage off of Phoenicia, you only need, like, 6 magic. Because 6 magic is 12 damage, and 12 damage on each enemy is 48. So you really only need 6 magic to equal 24 armor on Rowan, which is quite a stark difference as far as how much you need relative to exact equivalency of damage. So yeah, one and a half niches basically is enough to, you know, 1 full medal and like a single one is almost the equivalency of all 3 of your medals as armor. But until you reach that point, it has a little bit of a gap, which all the way in early game and mid game, you probably wouldn't really have that many full niches yet. If even one yet, because they could take a while to end up farming up. But Phoenicia definitely doesn't need nearly as much to get her value out of it, which is why she'll always overtake eventually. Anyways, in other news, let's go and do, well, we did that. Was that everything then? We did that. I want to keep my PvP deliberately low so we can actually go farm it, which is what we're probably about to do next then. So let's go do that. So, PvP, not that one, this one. So, we'll use this as we've been using all week in order to farm quick class XP. And we'll throw that down. So, we'll hand out code at level 91 probably. And go to about 91, 92 or so. We should be good to go from there. Oh, nothing good there. Why don't you have anything good? There we go. Obviously what we're aiming for is about the under 5,000 range. The lower the better. And these will die to our Rowan one-shot. Obviously it depends on how much damage your Rowan has. But with how many stats we have, that's about what we kill at. It's 5,000 and below. There's several battles above 5,000 that we could kill. However, the biggest issue is not knowing if they have spell reduction or other annoying traits. Anything that starts getting above 5,000 is not guaranteed, but more likely to either have enough durability to survive, a spell reduction to survive, or an annoying 25% chance to revive on death or some kind of similar related trait on death. So I try to stay under. And the lower the better, because that's a really good chance that they don't have any kind of annoying trait if they're very low down. Because as you can see, he has almost no traits. He only has one trait on his second troop. Actually, all of his 3 troops have one trait. And none of them have any annoying ones, even if they were fully traded. But it makes it less likely that they would be traded with traits that would be annoying. And that helps save time. And time is XP. So that one we are going to want to skip. We theoretically probably had enough damage to take it out with Rowan. It's not worth risking. We're just repicking it real quick. The amount of time it would cost if it was an annoying one would just be better just to go for a repick. Because the battle's already done. Otherwise, we'd still be trying to cast a second Rowan for the other battle. Most likely at this point. Still would probably be in it. As we're doing another battle already. Hello, Vartanpool. Welcome. Actually, how do you see your name? But welcome. Glad you could join again. Yeah, game's definitely changed up a lot. And it's about to, again, a decent amount. 5.0 is around the corner. The Geoff achievement. I'm not sure what you're referring to by that. But we have every achievement in the game except for the 100 gold medal one. Which is going to take us a while. Takes a lot of... Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, it's the only one I haven't done yet. I have about half progress on it. I haven't done enough Explore 12 to get it done. You're the 11th on Xbox with it? Oh gosh, yeah, it's very few people have it. I think on Steam it shows up as 0.2%. 150 hours of audiobooks, yeah, it takes a lot of grinding. You basically just have to sit and Explore 12 and just keep playing and playing and playing and playing and playing and playing and playing until it's done. I just haven't done it yet. I'm halfway there. Well, we're getting there. Similar hero classes, I'm pacing it a bit. Just to not burn out. Yeah, theoretically, that achievement can be done in a week. But you'd have to dedicate your entire week to it. Realistically, in 2 weeks. But it is theoretically possible in a single week. But you'd have to spend almost every single hour of that week pretty much dedicated to playing the game. What about new patch? Nothing I can mention currently. When will it revive? No official dates, but if I had to guess, late June, early July. No official date yet. And nothing I can officially mention that is public knowledge yet. At least that I'm aware of. Though Salty might mention something on Monday. Oh, I doubt it. Oh, I should have went for that one. Oh, well, let's take this one, I guess. Should still be good. Our guildmate got it this morning, 15th on Xbox. Nice. Yeah, you can't see what position you got it on Steam. You can go to like a website where it like tracks achievements, but that only attracts people that like specifically use and update the website. As far as Steam, I think the closest number it gives is wait, on any of these right now. But this right over here. Oh gosh, it just opens it in that thing, doesn't it? I forgot. Fail. Wait, why did it open properly? Weird. Okay, fine. I'll X out all of these then. We don't need them, I don't think. There we go. That's weird. Why wouldn't it load if we already had a thing open? But anyways, closest we can see is this number, which is just a percentile. But yeah, it's 0.2%. It's obviously the lowest achieved achievement in the entire game, as it is the hardest achievement in the entire game, and the only one we do not have. Medal and upgrade 100 troops. You can see I'm currently at 40. However, with the amount of medals I have, I can easily get to 50. I just haven't done it yet. So if we go back here, we can see the progress on it. Shows you a little progress bar. So at least that's that. So we can see a little bit easier how far we've gone towards it. But yeah, we're at 40. And we should have the medals to be able to reach 50 right now, if you so choose. I just haven't used them yet. So we're about halfway there. With enough luck, grinding for 10 hours every day for a week on Explore 12 and nothing else would probably give it to us. If we get lucky. Otherwise, we might need another day or two on top of it. Depends how the, what we end up getting as drops. Do I know if Tower of Doom is going to be a weekend-only event soon? Yes. Eventually. Every event, other than Guild Wars, will eventually be a weekend event. How soon, we currently don't know. But soon, TM. Yep, there is one of our levels. Lend out code on the other one. Because it shouldn't take too long while doing this method. Because we only need, what, 45 wins? 45 wins should be about 20 minutes, actually. Takes about that long. So I think we're just going to go to 91 for the stream then. We'll go a little bit past it in the sense that we'll still keep grinding a bit. But I think as far as actual level objectives, we'll go to 91, hand out code then. And then just get a last little bit of grind in there. Well, some weeks are a little bit different in how Explorer is set up. But yeah, the Garage Knock one was set up extremely like Explorer. The most recent one was set up a little bit differently than it. But they do tend to go based on some kind of theme. Not exactly like Explorer, but normally similar enough. Though those events are already pretty much done in a few days. So it being moved to a weekend on a few-day event almost kind of makes sense. Like, I've always found all those events to be like a few-day related event. Like Tower of Doom normally takes a few days if you have a really well-organized guild. Raids takes a few days. Invasions takes a few days. These are all events that theoretically could be done by day 3 pretty consistently for most guilds. And if not day 3, day 4. But obviously with a shorter version of a day 3 one, then you could definitely end up getting it on day 3. So it almost kind of makes sense that they're being converted into that. Because they've always felt like 3 days events. That just happened to take a week. Kind of like Tower of Doom right now. We've been done with it for like this entire week. Every single one of these Tower of Doom streams is like, oh yeah, we don't have any Tower of Doom to do because, well, we finished it. We had it done on, I believe the, did we have it on Wednesday or Thursday? I can't remember this week. But, you know, we get it done like 3-4 days and then boom, it's done. Yeah, if it's on like a weekend event, that gets scattered a little bit more evenly. But on a weekend event, you would normally get it done on Saturday. Because since it has a small little bit of a requirement, you would normally get it done by then. Especially by the time we do our stream at night, my guild would probably have already, even if we were a little bit short by the Sunday night, the guild likely would have gotten the last of the points already. I gotta get that first place Tower of Doom spot. I still feel like that's overkill. If there was any event to try for a leaderboard on, I personally feel like Tower of Doom is the most pointless one to try. Other than to flex every single week that your guild can. I don't really see the purpose in doing it other than just for the fun of it. Why fight the left-hand fights? Because they have really low stats. And you can repick them into really low stats. And in doing so, they are one-shottable. And in being one-shottable, we get very quick EXP. So that's why we're taking the leftmost one. Because the scores always go from lowest to highest. And the leftmost will always be the lowest score. And you can repick it with only 50 gold in casual PvP in order to get weak battles. And then we instantly kill the weak battles. That's pretty much the whole theory behind how we're farming right now. Is find weak battle, kill weak battle, repeats. And this gives 2 class XP per battle, which is actually the highest rate in the game, as long as you don't get trolled with the really bad luck on the battles. Which we're actually manipulating slightly by deliberately having our PvP rating very low. And deliberately having our PvP rating really low like this. We get slightly less resources from the weak stuff, like the we don't get the 46 glory keys and a few other things here and there. But it's pretty minuscule what we're missing out on. It's about 50 gems worth of glory pretty much. But we don't get that. However, we in exchange end up getting a really... Oh, good. You got ahead a little bit. Nice. Almost looked like he stopped. So it might be good. Though obviously you'll still need to get a way bigger gap than that. He's probably going to pick up any moment now. Then again, never mind. He's from the same guild as you. Oh, so you two are probably aren't going to contest each other then. Unless he just wants to take it from you for friendly competition. Didn't even realize you two both were from the same guild. Oh, gosh. But anyways, what was I saying? Gosh, I completely lost my other previous train of thought now. But, yeah, the amount of glory that we're missing out on and gem value from those glory keys and all that isn't really too useful compared to the extra benefit that we're getting just from having weaker battles here. Since we're all the way at rank 70,000, this is actually a good thing when doing this because given that we're not rank 1 yet and that we have such a low rank here, we'll end up finding super weak battles to quick kill. Because this actually goes based on your PvP rank for the week, what battles you get in casual PvP. And one nice thing about casual PvP, which is actually a nice thing in this situation, is you actually get 0 ranked EXP, or 0 ranked score. And the reason why this is good is because you never actually move up in rank. And this is very beneficial, because even if you win like 1,000 times on casual PvP, you still remain at your same ranked PvP location. And casual PvP's drop table is based on ranked PvP's position. So even if we win a ton in casual, it has no effect on what we find. Except for win rate. Win rate does affect what you find, but given that everything else is so optimized, it shouldn't really affect us much. Because obviously our win rate would be absurdly high from taking this many instant win battles. What even is our account's actual win rate number? I feel like it's would be relatively small. Because I feel like I would have just randomly died to something when testing something. Normally Monday videos almost always reset it. Because I'm normally testing with something really weak that might end up losing out. Or, you know, in a really weird situation where we might be using a weaker team deliberately or something like that. And that normally resets my thing every single week. My win count. But longest streak we ever had was 1,694. Where does it say current streak? Only 4 battles? What? Wait, do casual battles not count as battles? We definitely didn't lose 5 battles ago. Weird. We definitely did not lose 5 battles ago. What weapon is it that I have equipped? It's not relevant. I'll probably cast it almost 0 times. It's Dancing Daggers. It's the weapon you get from 250 wins on Dervish hero class. It's basically just a full AoE yellow weapon. You can run Black Manacles or something instead there. Pretty much anything that doesn't block Rowan is the correct option there. Which one you go for really just depends on what you want to do. As long as it doesn't block Rowan. And ideally not block Leprechaun either. But it's more important not to block Rowan. Wait, let me go look at my undefeated count. Does casual PvP actually not count towards it? Pretty sure it used to in the past. Yeah, that's weird. Undefeated in 4 battles. Also, what other battles were we doing that we lost 5 battles ago and not casual PvP? Yeah, apparently casual PvP doesn't count for that anymore. I could have sworn it used to in the past. Thought every single battle did. At one point. Maybe just ranked PvP now that counts towards the streak thing. Or has it always been like that and I just didn't notice? Could have sworn it was based on all battles. But maybe it was only ever ranked PvP. Which means Guild Wars would normally reset it. If that is the case. Because it is very easy to accidentally lose one of the 30 Guild War battles. Particularly one of the 5th battles if you're not Paragon. Because they have higher stats than you by default. Which already put you at a disadvantage compared to how you would normally be. Not to mention you're already at a pure color disadvantage. With them trying to counter out your team. Which delve is best to farm shards? The best farming faction in the entire game is City of Thieves. If you can keep City of Thieves at level 20 forever, you should. It is really, really good value to forever keep it level 20 City of Thieves. Highly advised. It's fine if you don't. But it's definitely pretty helpful. I don't, personally, because we've maxed out every delve in the game. But if there was one delve to keep at level 20 forever, it is definitely City of Thieves. It is insanely good. It's so good. Doing it at 0.5 times multiplier at level 50 is actually still worth it compared to most other delves at 1 times multiplier at 20. As weird as that may seem. Is the game still fun to me? Yes. I still get a lot of enjoyment out of this game. I wish there was more stuff to grind that had more variety to it. Because technically, what's it called? Farming metals is more things to grind. However, it doesn't necessarily have like that variety factor to it. But yeah, I still get a lot of enjoyment from this game. I just can't play it for very, very long sessions. Which this game was never really made to be played in really long sessions, even though some people still choose to do so. But I still get a lot of fun playing as a daily. Oh, what do we need here? Speaking of that, did we ever get level 91? No, we did not. We need to hand out code when we do. Yeah, theoretically, you could not farm any delve and just do them to completion. The only slight problem with that is if you're early on in the game or in mid-game, it's kind of better to stick with one and farm it for a bit. Mostly because you don't need to worry about higher level renown amounts and everything like that until way later in the game. But we are starting to get to the point where there's so many delves that newer players almost would want to consider moving forward. Though I still would consider keeping at least one kingdom low just in case you want to farm it. In case you get tired of the higher battles, you just find yourself, you kind of get bottlenecked out of it. And that you don't have enough good troops or good stats to actually be able to take it out easily. The worst comes to worst, you can run Mang in every delve. Mang with like Titan. Make sure you use Barrier every round. I can theoretically solo it if 500 with enough luck, regardless of stats. Though obviously, the higher you go, the more difficult it gets, because you can just die in one shot eventually if your stats are too low. But that's what Barrier is for. I'm not going to take that one. He has 25% revive if it's traded. And given that's Gorgolfa, it could be traded. Plus, I believe Gorgolfa has on his first trait. It's 25% revive thing, which would be the easiest one for it to get. But you can't remember if it's first trait or second trait. I know it has 3 traits. Immune to burning, 25% revive of the daemon thingy on death, and stone skin, or, you know, the granite skin, the 75% reduction. I cannot recall which one comes first, though. Obviously, the granite skin is last. But I can't remember if the 25% was before or after the burn. Now I need to go check out of curiosity. If I had to guess, I believe the... which one would come first? I initially said I think the 25% def comes first. I think it's actually... oh no. It'd be weird if the burn was on first. Why do I feel like the burn's second? I don't know. I'm going to stick with what my first instinct was. Even though that doesn't seem right. But I believe Gorgolfa revives actually on its first trait. It should be on its second, though. But I feel like Gorgolfa is one of those weird ones that has it on its first. Nope, I was wrong. It is the burn on this. Okay. Yeah, it's burn. That's what I thought. Because almost everything has it past their first. I don't think anything in the entire game actually has Demonic Pack on first trait. Oh, that's... so it's just do track, not pack. Let's see. Does anything have it first trait? Yes. Actually, this weird troop does. Not counting him. Does anything else have it? Other than that one weird outlier of one of those raid invasion troops. Yes, actually there is. No, never mind. He doesn't have it. He has it on final trait. Yeah, aside from that one really weird outlier that I forgot about, not a single troop in the entire game has it on first trait, which is what I was thinking. But yeah, actually, one troop does. I did not realize it. Or whatever this guy's name is. Aharimus. This one weird one that ended up coming in through some invasion. That's completely dead content. He's the only troop in the game to have Demonic Pact on first trait, rather than on second or third. Interesting. Anyways, in other news, let's go back to the PvP. So we could theoretically take that 5,000 battle, is the bottom line. Because that Gorgolfa is very likely to not have 25% revive based on 5,000 score there. If we see it again, we'll fight it just to see. Have I gotten any Imperial Deed offers? No, not a single time, which does remind me. I believe we had junk, but I don't think I showed it on stream yet. Yeah, we just have junk. I already checked it earlier, but this is what we have for offers today. This is always worth it, theoretically, if you need event keys. However, I don't, so I don't. This is never worth it, and this is never worth it, even with 25% discount. I think it could be for 100 gems, and I still wouldn't go for it. Honestly, it could be for 50 gems, and I would still contemplate if it was worth it. Anyways, next thing. Back to the PvP. We picked something easy. And we should almost be at redeem code time. Yep, 5 more battles, and we'll hand out redeem code. What do we need here? Do we have any good movement there? No, let's grab that for now. Get that going. Get a Ruin. You keep getting the same pet. It's not a bad thing if you need the pet. Well, obviously, it is if you already got it maxed. If it's like one of the old pets and you accidentally keep getting copies of it, that's actually pretty good. Obviously, if it's any other situation, then not so much. Oh, you keep getting the same pet, so you caved and bought it. And then you got the same pet the next day. Oh, gosh. It really wants you to have more penguins. Oh, that was the very first pet I actually got in the game. The cute little penguin. I think it was Blue Mastery bonus, right? Or something like that. No, he's Stormheim. Never mind. The Penguin's Stormheim bonus. He's the one that gives you like 30 HP for Stormheim. It's absurd. Actually, even more than that because the other bonus goes even higher. You get like 50-something HP. We were utilizing that this week too. It's the last that we get to see the super big Yarrow HP. But yeah, this week we could actually see the massive numbers. Where is it? Did I overwrite it already? There it is. Yeah, look at those big numbers. And this is without even having 24 extra HP from that penguin. Or from the metals, I mean. But, yeah, look at all this bonus it gives. We're getting 21 HP there. We're getting, we could theoretically have 24 HP there, though obviously it's on armor right now. And we're getting 30 HP there. So much HP, as you can tell. 176, 167, 181. Hindla at 181. Just for fun. Did I take a screenshot of it earlier? I don't think I ever did. Let's just put it over top of this. Let's just start a random battle that we don't care if we lose. Here, how about this one? Let's take a screenshot of those big numbers. Not sure if we'd ever need it for a thumbnail. Or just for fun. Look at those HP values. First turn HP. Not even taking anything yet. There we go. Anyways, retreat. Let's go back to armor and back to the battles. Where were we? Not there. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to use this team again. Well, one, but we're not getting class XP towards anything we need. That is what we want to do. Now we gain class XP. Well, it's kind of funny that the thing ends up getting full mana immediately. Oh, and there's level 91. And I did say I would hand out code at 91, and that is a 91. Should be this one right here. The Q something. What was it? The Q2? Q2. It's funny, we had like M2 the other day. Now we have Q2. There you guys go. Here's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Pretty sure you guys know by now, but just in case for anyone new. Subscriber tribute first. Boom. There we go. 12 gems. But anyways, your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over here in the bottom left corner of your settings menu is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code's right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters starting with Q2 and all those. And it gives the same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And use all that over on gemsofwar.com for the game code section, or simply click that link and it brings you there as well. And yep, there you guys go. And it's only usable on PC mobile version of the game. If you're playing on any console, you will not be able to use them for your account. There you guys go. Okay, next order of business. We did that. Let's go, and I guess this got a little bit more XP then, real quick. And do that for a few more minutes. So if anyone else still has any questions, now would be a great time. Otherwise, we will probably slowly start wrapping up. And then tomorrow night, we should easily be able to reach about 93 or so and mess with the new event. Oh, we got a pet too. Nice. Do I already have that one maxed? I'm not even sure. Let's do a battle and then go check. Yeah, the middle task, the way that the tasks work is the leftmost task is based on your hero level. The middle task is checks if you have any kingdom requirement for any kingdom. So if you keep getting like class XP ones, it's because you still need to go level the class for one. And oh good, he didn't actually have revive. Okay, so we could have been taking this. But yeah, the middle one's always based on a kingdom upgrade. And if you don't have any, it's based on a level. And the rightmost one is either based on a level 1 that's discounted at 25%, or an exclusive VIP one. Regardless, you only ever get the third one if you have VIP 6. And it rotates between either, well, not rotates, but it's random. If you end up getting one that is a normal one, which is based on level, and if it is a normal one, you get 25% off on it, and or one of the VIP exclusive ones, which some of them are actually worth under the VIP exclusive ones. They're not like insanely good value, but a couple of them are worth it here or there. The one I feel like I've been buying the most is that one that gives you 3 presents that you can hand out to your guild, because it technically has a positive gem value. The gem value of a purple orb and end game ends up coming out, even later in the game, even for most of the game, counts as about 135 gems. Whereas, and then the 3 presents theoretically count as 25 gems each. So for 200 gems, it's a positive exchange of what, 10 or 15 gems? I think it's 10 actually. But it comes out to a positive 10 gems, and obviously a positive 10 gems isn't a lot, and you don't even get to keep theoretically 75 of it. However, one thing that you could technically do is gift for gift to someone in your guild. So if someone else has 3 gifts and you have 3 gifts, you give them 3 gifts, they give you 3 gifts, and then boom, you both just made 10 gems. Though of course I just use it to give to random people in my guild for helping out with things. Like I think we gave out 3 this week for people who helped out with Tower of Doom. Obviously, I wish I could give it to more because we had more people than 3 helping out. But I didn't want to give out all of them in 1 week. I think we're currently sitting on 7 of them, which is the equivalent of 175 gems that we can hand to anyone in our guild. It's a nice little thing. And normally they cost money in the pass. Although theoretically you need to spend some amount of money to have VIP 6. But technically getting them now costs 0 money, since you could do them with diamonds in game. I mean, with gems in game, I mean. Yep, no problem for the code, everyone. Okay. What was the other thing I wanted to go do? There's one other thing. Oh yeah, the pet. Which we actually don't need copies of, but I need the food. Oh, I still don't have Phoenicia set up here. Well, let's go set up Phoenicia then. Where is she? Phoenicia, where are you? I know you're in here. Phoenicia, there you are. Alright, let's go clear out these pets. Let's see. Let's get that big magic. The really big magic. Alright, there we go. Let's go head over to pets. And then we'll call it a wrap. There we go. Okay. Let's go get our Diabolist XP. If anyone still has any questions, now would be a good time. So Phoenicia is really good for these first 5 battles. She falls off if you're not using Sunspear thereafter, though. So much so, I might even just switch to Sunspear for the very last 2. Just because of how much slower she is without Sunspear. For these earlier battles, it won't matter because she can one-shot. I believe she stops after the 5th battle. The 6th, 7th, and 8th, she will not be able to one-shot. The 6th one's not as bad, because I believe she can clean it up with non-double damage. But the other 2 are really, really slow with without Sunspear. So this is the last spot I should be able to one-shot. So I think it might slightly depend on how many reds are on the board. Yep. Okay, now it falls off. So you know what, I'm actually, for the sake of time, I am going to switch over to Sunspear then. I think we're going to be doing this for now on, actually. Just because of how slow it's been. I feel like these battles have almost been taking like 2 minutes each when we don't run it without the proper hero class. Sunspear, you do any instance of Phoenicia where she doesn't win within 4 turns. And this is one of those instances. Though, as I mentioned, you actually theoretically could still get away with 6. But you'd be able to clean it up with your weapon or with another cast from her. However, 7 and 8 you definitely have to Sunspear for. If you're going to use this team. I should have actually taken the mana and end on it. It was a bit overkill for only 4 mana that we needed for her. Luckily we got the full thing back without needing to worry about it. And then dead. But yeah, by then I don't think we would have had the double damage to have killed it. And if we wouldn't have, we would have had to find a whole nother Phoenicia Castus to win. Where Sun Spirit gives us double damage. It's actually a weird one where I believe it takes triple damage or triple hit. Well, you can just take it out with cleanup weapon. There we go. That's how that rolls. There we go. Claim our flutters, which will get transformed into pet food. Actually, we got 6 pet food there as far as yellow. 5 directly and 1 through the pet. Or technically 2 because I guess both of them actually become it. So I guess 7 pet food then. Man, anyways, guys. Any other questions before we head out? Does it give you your seals at reset if you don't collect them for the prior week? Yes. I would still collect them though, just in case it doesn't calculate it properly. But yes, you should still get your seals properly through your mail if you do not collect them. So let's say you were at 1,800, but you had enough to be able to get to 2,000 and you didn't collect them. It should give you the other 200, last I recall. I always collect them to make, just in case. But yeah, you should still get them. As long as you meet the requirements for it, you should still get it. So if you have like enough battles where you should be getting the full 2,000 points, but you still haven't collected the full 2,000 points, you should get it once Monday rolls around. Though just in case, I would still collect it prior if you remember to. But if you don't remember to, I'm pretty sure that is one aspect that is auto-collected. Which is weird that it doesn't auto-collect throughout the entire week, given that it'll auto-collect at the end of the week regardless. Which makes it seem really weird. Even more so. I never understood why seals did not auto-collect automatically throughout the week. Even if it's just on a daily basis, rather than how it currently is on a weekly basis. You check the next mythic. It's pretty bad. And you were telling yourself, why would I recruit him in any battle? You wouldn't. You have trolls for all the colors you wanted and cost their mana. What do I think? He's useless. It's a really bad mythic. They could reduce him down to 20 mana cost and it might still not be worth it. Unless they completely revamp what his final trait is to actually make it useful on extra turn. Or reduce his mana cost to 20. Or make his effect something better than just some life. Or all 3 of those. Some amount of those 3 things would have to be done to make it viable. In its current state, it's going to be useless. It has way too high of a mana cost at 24. It has like extra turn spam, yet has no benefit to extra turn spamming. Not a single one of his 3 traits benefit from spamming extra turns, which they need to make its final traits function off of it to make it even remotely good. And its third aspect was wait, there was a third. What was it? I just mentioned it and I already forgot what it was. Fail. Gigantic fail. Why am I throwing a blank already? There's a third reason, or a third thing that it could be fixed on. Oh yeah, the life. Instead of gaining life, it could be gaining a different effect that's actually useful when spamming it, like some amount of damage or something. Yeah. But yeah, it does buff life, but that's not really good in most situations. It's a very slow mechanic that even if it does buff up something that has life boost ratio, you're wasting a lot of time to buff it up. And there's much quicker ways to be able to buff it, like Yasmin's Pride in most situations. But anyways, guys, any other questions? Any other questions? Let me know. But yeah, next month's Mythic's pretty bad. It was changed out for what's supposed to be the really good Mythic that's coming the following month. And not June, but July. It got moved a month. But yeah, the July Mythic's going to be insanely good. I don't know, maybe they wanted to give it as a 4th of July present this year to everyone. Obviously not a free copy of it, but you know, just as a Independence Day present. Because it actually comes out the day before 4th of July. It comes out that Friday. Because it's the first Friday of every month, and Friday the 3rd of July is when it would come out. The really, really good Mythic. This next Mythic is going to be completely useless, but the one after, assuming it doesn't get nerfed, is going to be like one of the best Mythics in the game. Probably top 5. I don't think they're going to nerf it, though. I think power creep has happened enough that they're going to release it exactly as is. And honestly, I don't think it's going to be that broken, because things like Web Spinner exist, and stuff like that, which already have such good value. Theoretically, Web Spinner even has better value than this mythic. Yeah, there's been so much prior creep already. However, this mythic is a little bit more consistent with the range at which it works. Yes, you can half mana start the new mythic that's coming out next month. However, compared to just using a troll that can start with only 6 mana rather than needing 12, I feel like in almost every situation you would just run a single troll. They have to change some kind of aspect of its ability to make it worth it. I feel like the biggest buff it could get is if it changed its final trait to trigger on extra turn rather than every turn expiring. I feel like it could have potential. If they made only that change and no other change to the mythic, I think that would be enough to make it from completely useless and never used to situationally useful. If they actually made it so it was on extra turn rather than every turn passing. Because it just seems really weird because the troop is set up. Its ability is set up completely that you'd want to spam and never end your turn. Yet its traits are set up to lose every turn you have. Which is just a really weird dynamic. That none of its 3 traits, particularly its final trait, is not set up to extra turn spam. It doesn't really make much sense. Hopefully it'll make that change before it gets released, but they probably won't. And if they don't, it's going to be useless. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, I'll be heading out for now. I hope you all have a wonderful week. We'll be going over the event videos soon with all the weekly things. Obviously, we already kind of recapped a little bit on stream, but, you know, going over it all in detail in the normal weekly video. And we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, we stream every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hour and a half prior to now tomorrow, as we do every night. Tomorrow night, we'll mostly be doing raids, as we have our raid event going on. And then we'll have invasions on the weekends. Weird combination, raid and invasion on the same week. Actually, I think this is the first time we ever had raids and invasions on the same week. It's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, I never did cover the best teams thing. I really need to soon, before 5.0 comes out. It'll be relevant until 5.0. Because 5.0 is the biggest thing it's the only game-changing patch we've had all year so far. We haven't had any meta-changing patch since October. October was the last meta-changing patch. However, 5.0 is likely, though not 100% confirmed, to be the next meta-changing patch. So we'll see exactly what happens then. But yeah, we haven't had a meta change for a while. Normally it happens about once every half a year, though. So that's about in line with time, because a little bit over. It's going to be like 7 months then, because it's likely to be like late June or so. And our last major was like mid-October, which how big of a gap is that? That's what, 8 months? Yeah, it's about an 8-month gap. So that's about in line, because on average, it's obviously not consistently on it, but on average, the meta for the game changes every 6 months. And currently, we have not shifted the meta yet compared to the previous one. But anyways, guys. So it's almost like the meta cycle more so than the best teams of 2019. But it's theoretically the meta cycle. Though I will be restricting it solely to things that came out in 2019. So it's a little bit more limited. That doesn't really change too many things. Because very few viable things actually came out so far in 2020. As far as things that are like meta used in every team. The only thing I can really think of is Beatrix. But if you minus Beatrix, what really came out this year that's been useful? Like almost nothing as far as like super meta stuff. Like there's been stuff that you can kind of use here and there. But as far as meta, Beatrix is like the only thing off the top of my head that I recall like as, yeah, that's meta. Like something that you can like look at and it's like, yeah, that's like one of the best things in the game. But other than Beatrix, nothing like that really came out so far this year. Like that game breaking or, you know, game changing. Not breaking. It's actually relatively balanced. But it's obviously really good and above average. Mistralis wasn't that bad. I personally find it to be inconsistent, though. And that inconsistency makes me not want to use it. Oh, yeah, Reflection was pretty decent. I don't feel like I use it often. But yeah, Reflection was actually not that bad. Honestly, I would say Reflection is better than Mistralis. Especially since you get it for free. Also, hello, Ounce. Welcome. Oh, yeah, Vespera did come out in January, didn't she? I feel like I don't use Vespera that much. She gets hard countered really badly by Freeze. And I feel like that's a really big liability in Guild Wars from the many times I've used her. I do like using her. I really like her playstyle. I just feel like she gets too hard countered by the meta currently. But she's definitely good. It's just the main purpose you'd use her for in Guild Wars. And the current meta for Guild Wars, she just gets countered by. So doesn't that technically make her have no role? Because the main thing you would ever use her for is Guild Wars, since she doesn't work for Guild Wars technically, at least against current meta. That could change in the future, but oh yeah, you could use the word Beatrix, but then you're restricted only to Blue Day for her. But yeah, you could do it with Beatrix for the cleanse, and I guess you could do it with Voice of Orpheus on yellow, if you really had to go all in on cleanse. But then in both situations, you basically have to use an entire slot just to counter freeze. Like, you have to take an entire slot out of your team to go replace it with a freeze counter. Herdmaster could be used for purple. It's not as consistent, but you could use it. Like, there's cleanse for all 3 days. Like, every single option, or every single color of hers will have a cleanse option. But you normally have to go and replace something from your team specifically to make it a cleanse option, which will slow down your team, which is not necessarily worth it. But there's always a cleanse option. Every color, I believe, these days has cleanse on it, currently. I don't think anyone is actually missing it. Obviously, some are better than others, with Beatrix being probably the strongest option in the game, as far as cleansing is concerned. Beatrix and Voice of Orpheus always been kind of the best, too. Voice of Orpheus because it has impervious, so it doesn't have to, like, lose that effect, since it has it on trait. And Beatrix because it just has a full one for your entire team, just off a single extra turn, which is better than the yellow because you can't even be hard countered. You just get a single extra turn and then boom, you're good to go. But yeah, as the Curl mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream as you're heading out. Definitely helps out. And I will catch you guys soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Oh, Bill also reminded everyone. Everyone's reminding everyone. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for the continued support. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for stopping by again. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And as I mentioned, this again, we'll be back 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hour and a half prior to now tomorrow, as we are every single night. And we'll be rolling with raids and doing all the raid event, going over the normal event stuff, and going from there. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and catch you later. Goodbye, everyone. We'll have the event video up soon, TM.